Hello and welcome to Mailtrap Videos, where we explore the world of emails. In this video, we'll explain how to create a contact form and send it with Ruby on Rails. Let's start with creating a new Rails application. First, we'll need to run the following command in our terminal. By adding c-bootstrap, we're asking Rails to use the Bootstrap CSS framework, which will give our contact form a nice look. Once the application is created, we need a new controller to manage user requests and interact with the mailer for data flow. To do this, run the Rails generate controller contact form command. Next, we create the actual contact form. Within the view folder of our controller, we make a new file named new.html.erb and add the appropriate code to create the form. Here is an example of what this looks like. You can see the standard fields such as name, last name, email, message, and the submit button. The same logic applies if you need a more advanced form with multiple text fields, select boxes, and checkboxes. Now within the controller, we'll define a new create method. This is done to access the form data using the params hash and perform necessary actions, such as saving the data to a database. After submitting the form, we want the user to see a success message, so let's add a flash hash in the controller action. Here's an example of how the full code for the create method might look like. For the success message to be visible, let's add a specific code to our layout file that checks for messages in the flash hash and displays them as a Bootstrap alert. We'll place these alerts at the top of the page. Lastly, we need to modify the config routes.rb file to create routes for our new controller. In this file, we specify the default page to be shown to the user and create routes specifically for our controller's new and create actions. This now corresponds to displaying the form for a new contact and processing this form's data upon submission. Now that we've done all the setup, let's check how our application looks. Let's start the development server using bin dev and go to localhost 3000. We can see the contact form with all the inputs we created. Let's test it out by submitting a message. Once submitted, we can see that the flash message is displayed. Alright, so now we know how to create the form. Next, let's configure the form to send emails via Action Mailer using Mailtrap's SMTP server. First, you'll need to sign up to Mailtrap, verify your domain, and create a new inbox. After that, you can set up the Action Mailer in the development.rb configuration file to use SMTP with your unique Mailtrap credentials. In our case, we've already done these steps and can continue to create a mailer model to send our email. Let's go to the console and generate this. Within this mailer class, we'll add a method to forward the user's message from our form to our inbox. This method will take the details from our contact form as arguments, constructing an email with the user's first name, last name, and message. Let's set the reply to header to the user's email address so that a reply to the email will go directly to the user. All emails generated from the form will be sent to the domain we configured in Mailtrap and directed to our demo Gmail inbox. The next step is to use this mailer in the create method of our contact form controller. Here, we call our mailers method and pass the user's details to it and trigger the delivery right away. Once our setup is complete, we'll start our web server and test our application. If everything is configured correctly, the email should be sent successfully. Let's check our inbox. And we could see that the email was delivered successfully. If we hit reply, the response is addressed to the user's email as indicated in the script. An alternative way to send data from the submitted form is via API. Again, in our example, we'll use Mailtrap. The link to the official Mailtrap Ruby client can be found in the description of this video. Let's include the Mailtrap gem in our application's gem file. Next, we execute the bundle install command in the console to incorporate the Mailtrap library into our app. After successfully installing the gem, we can switch the configuration for Action Mailer from SMTP to API and adjust the relevant parameters in the Action Mailer configuration to reflect this change. Let's also give a new subject to our email so we can differentiate it from the one sent via SMTP. Having changed the configuration already, we just need to restart the server. With the server up and running now, we can now test the application by submitting the form and sending its content via API. Let's go to our inbox, and there we go, we have a new email. Even though we've switched to the API, the action mailer setup remains the same, meaning that if you hit reply, it will still reply to the correct email address. And just like that, you can create and send a contact form with Ruby on Rails. We at Mailtrap hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you so much for watching this video, brought to you by Mailtrap, an email delivery platform to test, send, and control your email infrastructure in one place. Like and share this video, and subscribe to our channel to see more tutorials like this one, and we'll see you in our next video.